If you have your child under the age of 2.5 sleeping in a crib, keep them there, please. So in this video, we're going to talk all about that crib to bed transition, when to do it, and how to do it. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jensine. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, certified postpartum doula, and mom of 3 who takes sleep science with actual real life strategies and pairs them to get you the sleep your family deserves. So we're going to talk about this big transition of moving your child from a crib into a bed. And a lot of parents do this way too soon. Yes, it's super exciting to feel like your kid is moving into a big kid. They're ready for a bed. They're ready for that freedom. But what it actually brings is a lot of trouble, because now your child can just hop up and leave their room, do whatever they want, whenever they want. And for a lot of families who don't have children that are good sleepers, this creates a whole bunch of chaos and a very long bedtime, which could lead to a very long night. So the first thing I will say is, if your child does not sleep well in the crib, moving them to a bed is never going to make their sleep better. Let me repeat that again. If your child does not sleep well in the crib, moving them to a bed is not going to help. It is only going to make things worse, because they can do so much more. So ideally, the age that we want to move a child from the crib to the bed is college. Just kidding. It's at least 2.5. We do not want to move any children from the crib until at least 2.5, because developmentally, that is the youngest they can understand the invisible boundaries that a bed brings. We want them to still stay in their bed and have that same expectation, just the same as they did in the crib. The next thing to think about is, how long can I wait? Why do I want to move my child? Is it physically too hard to get them into the crib? Are they trying to crawl out of the crib? Is it just that I think it's fun and they're ready? We really want to move your child for just because they're getting big. There is no other reason that we want to move them. Not because, I think that I should, I think it'll make their sleep better or easier. No. My oldest was 3.5 before I moved him out of the crib. He still fit perfectly fine in his crib. He was sleeping great. There was really no reason for me to move him, except that it was getting hard to swing his legs over the side to get him into the crib. That was the only reason. He still fit perfectly fine. The weight limit was the same, because we just took the front railing off and made it a toddler bed when we were ready to do that. But he was sleeping so well, I didn't really want to rock the boat, because there was no reason to. He is growing fast enough. He is now, at the time of this taping, 8 years old. He just turned 8 less than a week ago. I was in no rush for him to grow up. So if you're thinking, I want to move them because I think that they're ready, I think that they're big enough, pause, take a second, think. If things are going well, why change them? So when your child is ready, this is going to be kind of like a whole day affair. You're going to prep first to have the sheets ready, to have the bed ready. If you're moving from the crib to a twin bed, or if you're just moving from the crib and taking the front rail off, that's not going to be as big of a deal. But first you need to get the room ready. Essentially, when your child is in a bed, we need to treat the entire room as a crib. We need to make sure everything is safe for them to be near alone. So all of the furniture is bolted to the wall. There aren't too many toys in the room. Anything that's unsafe is up high or in a closet, on a shelf, put away. Really taking a survey of the room. Is there anything in here that could potentially be dangerous when they're unsupervised in this room? The next thing is the day of, starting to think about what that's going to look like. If you are taking the rail off, or if you are building a new bed, you want to do that as close to morning as possible. And we're going to get really excited about it. We're going to include our child in this transition. We're going to give them their own tools, their own pretend tools, to help take that rail off the front of the crib, or to build the new bed. We're going to have them very involved. Look, it's going to go here. Help me put the sheet on. Look at this new blanket, this new pillow. We love it. It's so much fun. But come bedtime, we make absolutely no mention of this transition. Everything is the exact same because we want them to know the expectations for bedtime are still the same as they always were when they were sleeping in a crib. So when it comes to bedtime, you do your exact same bedtime routine. You do whatever, read your books, do all the things. Whatever you said and did when you tuck them into the crib is the same thing that you say and do when you tuck them into the bed. And then you leave the room from there. And then we see what happens. Some children do amazing. They have the same expectations. Nothing feels different to them. They fall asleep just as easily. Some children, if they weren't ready for that transition, if they didn't sleep well in the crib before that, if they maybe are a little bit more adventurous, will get up and maybe explore, maybe immediately come out of the room. You'll have to kind of determine what the next step will be. And below in the description, I'm going to put my Goodnight Preschooler course, which gives you the exact step-by-step to know what to do at the point when you tuck them in and they don't stay in the bed, because then a whole host of other things have to happen in order to get them safely and securely sleeping in their bed, because there is no cry it out, there is no closing the door on them while they're wailing on the other side. We want them to feel safe and secure in their room. So we really have to get to that emotional side and help them know how to feel comfortable in this big open space, because I always relate it to camping in the middle of the woods. You, as an adult, you go out into the middle of the woods, you set up your tent, and it's daytime. You have a little campfire, you're doing whatever. I don't camp, so I don't know the logistics of this, but you're having a great time. Everything is amazing. Then once it gets dark and everything is pitch black around you, the wilderness feels huge. It feels so big and expansive, and there's just every space everywhere around you, and you can feel the emptiness of it. And that's what it feels like when your child moves from this very protected, sheltered crib to having all of this infinite amount of space around them. It can feel too big. It can feel too scary. So a lot of children have trouble with that transition from this nice secluded crib into this big wide bed. So we have to help them learn how to feel safe and secure in this new environment that they're in. And again, the Goodnight Preschooler course will walk you through exactly how to do that with the least amount of tears possible so they can feel comfortable and confident and you can get a full night of sleep. So if you have any questions about this crib to bed transition, you're thinking about making the transition and you're not sure if it's the right time, or you just made the transition recently and it's really not going well, then pop me a comment below. I'm happy to hear your stories and answer your questions, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.